Every week, a new band. Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Life! Yeah.
I don't know how to be with you. I keep on wishing that you would say or do something wrong. Don't give me time to wreck it all. Your love feels too good to be true. I'd never think if it meant that I can't see you lose control. Can't let it be my fault. A nature of destruction only makes it all so messy for those you love. I don't know how to say that you're so perfect, only I can mess this up. I don't know how I can learn to live without you. So I'll take my doubts, try to understand what they're really all about. I'll be anything you want me to. Is this obsession a little much for you? Tone it down, got it so predictable. The girls I hate, I've turned into insecurity that you could see right through. And I'm fine, try to play it cool. You are not defined by your old issues. The nature of destruction only makes it all so messy for those you love. I don't know how to say that you're so perfect, only I can mess this up. Won't you let me make an argument? I wanna see you lose your patience with me. I don't wanna make it hard for us, but we can't settle into complacency. Too scared to confront a nature of destruction only makes it all so messy for those you love. But I just really need to say that we're not perfect, baby. Look how far we've come. I don't know how I could learn to live without you. So take my doubts. I was lost, but now I'm
Kia ora koutou katoa, kei te whakarongo mai koe ki te Radio Active FM and today's active live session made with support from New Zealand On Air. Ko Omiria tuku ingoa, and we are joined live in studio by Psycho Gab. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Should we start with some introductions? Would you like to go around the room, tell us your name, what you play, and maybe your favourite season?
Oh, favorite season. I guess I could start. I'm Rosetta. I sing. And my favorite season is spring.
I'm Max. I play guitar. I'm just gonna keep it basic. My favorite season is summer.
Nice.
Just shout.
I'm Caleb Wong, and I like all.
What? Controversial.
I'm Orlando, and I like winter.
Hi, I'm Finn, and I also like winter.
Nice. Got a good, diverse enjoyment of seasons there. The reason why I asked that is because you're called Psycho Gab. I hear there's a story around where this name came from that may or may not be weather related.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, yeah. It kind of went through a lot of like stages, but it started off as being after Cyclone Gabriel. Um, but we also have a good friend called Gab who does a lot of designing and art and stuff for us. So I guess it's after her as well.
May or may not be a little bit crazy.
Yeah, we may.
I mean, aren't we
may or
all
may not.
really?
Yeah. But Rosetta could probably tell you about why it was named after.
Well, Cyclone Gabrielle, the song, one of our songs, Gabin, that was on the debut EP, obviously. We wrote that during Cyclone Gabrielle, and that was one of the first songs that we all kind of wrote together. And it had a lot of storm metaphors in there, and it was originally called Psycho Gab, and then we actually kind of quite liked that as a band name, and then we renamed that song Gabin. So yeah, I guess it's like
the real story.
Yeah, maybe somewhat of a good thing to come out of that absolute terrible time for a lot of people.
Yeah. And well, speaking of your EP, not Psycho and Gabriel, Crazy Talk that came out earlier this month. How's the reception been for that?
It's so good.
Yeah.
We've had we had a show at Whammy Bar in Auckland that was packed out. It was so good. Probably the biggest show we've played. Me and Rosetta were both like freaking out on stage.
I was like,
The amount of
normally
people.
I think I'm pretty good at talking in between songs. Like I come up with funny little quips and stuff, and I was just like, oh my god, somebody take this mic away from me. I'm going to say something stupid.
Yeah, way too many people. But it was so awesome. And yeah, all the love from various, student radio stations and just everyone who's come to our gigs and just said what's up and nice gig, like, means a lot.
It's very wholesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. Speaking of Gavin and the SRN, that track really crushed it in the Student Radio Top 10 earlier this year. How has that sort of experience supported you with this release and getting more out there with the stuff?
Yeah, it's been huge. I think a lot of us have been tuned into student radio for a long time, so to see ourselves up in those charts is pretty surreal and like a nerdy moment for me. I mean, I volunteer a bit at 95 BFM, and so to be able to like say that we were on those charts that I look at every week religiously is pretty cool.
Hey,
yeah.
that's me.
Yeah.
Very cool. And there's also some really cool album art that accompanied that EP you released. It's full of detail. Could you tell me a little bit more about it? Who's behind that, or the Easter eggs that may or may not be in there?
So Gab, our friend, she's at Elam in Auckland doing fine arts, and she does a lot of our art for us and our photography, and has been a huge part of kind of curating the aesthetic vibe that we go for. Yeah, shout out Gab. The cover art has a kind of, I guess there's a few little Easter eggs. There's this little image that's kind of almost become a logo for us of our friend Jade, who dresses up in clown makeup for parties a lot. And there's this photo that there is of her in her clown makeup, and she has a wizard hat. And then someone's taken it, well, Gab took it and then like edited it, and that's what's on our t-shirts, and then also on the art. And then we also have some old archival photos of the Crystal Palace Ballroom, which is where, in the basement where the ballroom was, in Tamaki Makoto, that's where the lab recording studio is set up now. And we were able to record a bunch of our stuff at the lab. And that was just like a very special place for us when making it. So it was cool to be able to take something archival and weave it in there as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. And you also, speaking of the sort of vibe and visuals that you collate, you've got headscarves on quite a few of your promo photos. Why is that?
Scarves.
In our promo photos.
Yeah.
I don't really know why we did that.
Yeah, I think it was just something to make it more interesting and like, I don't know.
We were given this.
It definitely wasn't intentional.
We were given this voucher for a recycle boutique, and then I think we had a shoot coming up, and then Rosetta was like, "What can we do that makes this interesting? Let's go to the beach and wear scarves," and it was cool.
Beautiful. Well, speaking of, would you like to play another track for us?
Yeah, I reckon. This song is called Orchid Samba, and it's on the EP.
Gab here for this Friday's Active Live. I am obsessed with the avocado shaker.
Thank you. This is potentially the best like $12 we've ever spent at Rock Shop. Everyone needs to go out and get an avocado shaker. It used to have a little like sticker that had the Remo brand on it, but it's come off.
It looks so real. I quite seriously thought you were just picking up an avocado. Like,
Just
oh, prop
'cause.
time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned that you started making music during Cyclone Gabrielle, or at least that track Gabbin. Is that sort of when you all started playing together?
Yeah, I mean a little bit earlier than that. I guess it really started with Caleb and I with Messy, the first song that we played. Caleb and I started kind of writing that together, and then we were all jamming. So that was like end of what year? 2022, and then beginning of 2023, we all started playing together and we're doing kind of covers. And then Gavin came about, and then Cyclone Gabrielle was happening during that. And then I guess the only way I really describe it is when you kind of all come together and create a sound that none of you are really doing on your own, and then it's like, okay, well, this is obviously something to nurture in a collaborative setting.
Yeah, awesome. How does it work with such a wide range of musicians in the group? How does a track come about in that collaborative sense?
Usually it kind of starts with either a demo or we've kind of just started writing stuff together more recently. And so it kind of evolves. It's kind of got like two lives. Like it will start as like a live kind of song, and then it's kind of until once we start recording it, we might just change it completely or kind of refine parts like that. But yeah, it's pretty natural, I'd say. I don't think we've really forced much.
I think it's often will be someone. It'll be a practice session. Someone comes with a little idea, and then we just kind of jam it, improvise it, see where it goes, and then go away, come back, do it again, and keep like cycling it that way.
So do you find that tracks kind of experience a lifespan then and changing over time, and do you sort of play with them as well still as you go on?
Totally. I think live performance has been a big part of our journey in terms of like seeing how a crowd reacts to a song, and then from there it's kind of like it's a really good feedback of like what needs to change or what works. And sometimes it's like, oh wow, this really works in a live setting, and then we go to record it and it doesn't translate so well, so it kind of needs to be tweaked from there. And so I guess there's kind of the two lives of a song, live versus recorded, and how they interact with each other.
And have there been any challenges that you've been thankful for since starting a band in sort of a challenging time?
I don't know. I feel pretty lucky, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we have a whole lot to complain about. We're pretty blessed.
That's the perfect answer, isn't it? No, we're just winning all the time. Would you like to play another song?
Yeah. Let's do Gavin. This is Gavin. Puddle on my doorstep, 1,000 wish you would. Rain clouds in my head, a storm misunderstood. I'm tired of waiting for sunshine after every fight. I'd rather face the elements than try to prove I'm right. The wind is your word, feelings flood my room. I'd sit in the eye of a storm to find
hoki mai kita active live with Psycho Gab. And you played a gig last night at the Cozy Rogan Vagabond.
Oh yeah,
How was it? Highlights?
so good. Yeah, such a good venue.
I think it's like, I don't know. I mean, we are going to play Meow tonight, so I don't know if I can say this, but I think the Rogue is maybe my favorite venue. Oh, it's one of my favorite venues, like hands down. Like not even as a performer, but just to go. Like it's just such a cool vibe every time I go. Yeah, it was like, especially because, I mean, we all live in Auckland, but 3 of us are from Wellington, so to be able to be here and then play in like our favorite venues in Wellington is so special.
Wellington debut as well.
Yeah, yeah. And then we played alongside Veg Trio, and then Groove Council, and it was just so much fun. Groove Council, oh my god, just like such good dancing vibes.
Sounds like it, yeah. That's such a good point, though, of playing different sort of spaces, because Rogue and Meow, they're similar but also very different. What do you like about playing somewhere that's a little more mellow like Rogue, or playing somewhere bigger like Meow and Whammy and those sorts of spots?
I guess it just kind of brings out a different vibe all the time, and then when you have 5 people in a group, it's like there's so much potential for like dynamic contrast that, like, in a cozy venue you get to do something really intimate and you get to have a group of people that you really feel like you're kind of in the space with, and then in a big venue like when we had Whammy and we packed it out, it was like we just got to kind of let it rip, and that was really cool.
Yeah, so what are you looking forward to tonight playing at Meow? Anything exciting?
Just the vibes.
Good vibes.
No, it's gonna be
Good
really cool.
tunes.
We're playing with some really cool bands, Domicino, and Crumbly Jack. We love Crumbly Jack. They came up and played with us in Tamaki a wee while back, so it's cool to come down and do something with them down here.
Exciting. And so you're touring at the moment, but what's next for Psycho Gab?
We might chill out a little bit, but we've been writing some new stuff, so I think we're gonna try to go in a different direction. Yeah, and just kind of take our time and then go real hard next year. So we'll be back.
Enjoy the springtime and the summertime.
All the seasons that we love so much.
All right, it's been such a pleasure having you in. My final question for you today is the little Ask It Forward segment that we do here for these active lives. So what I need from you is a question, something that you've never been asked or think you should be asked in an interview, and the beauty is you don't have to answer it. The next week's guest does. However, you have a question from last week's guest, so karma, question mark.
Okay, our question is BP pie, no, Z pie or night and day pie, which is better?
Ooh, that is very Wellingtonian. Night and day. There aren't enough night and days in Auckland. This is a real issue.
Yeah.
Where are you meant to get your late night crisscross fries from?
I don't even know. Oh, there's one in Kingsland, I think, but that's the only one I can think of.
That was actually my first time at a night and day last night.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you
You
loved
haven't
it?
lived.
It's alright.
All
Gentrified
right. That's kind of true. Last week we had Menzies in, and their question was, what is your favorite type of pasta and why is it spaghetti?
Oh my god. Okay, I have really strong feelings about this. I'm so happy we got asked this question. It's not spaghetti.
All right.
Sorry. It's rigatoni.
Ooh, true.
Yeah.
Good job.
I just rigatoni has a really special place in my heart, and I really love to talk about my favorite pasta shape. So this might be a really good day for me. I just feel like it has everything that penne is trying to be, but it's just so much classier because it's got the straight edge and it's nice and thick, and it has the ridges for the sauce, and it just makes me feel bougie, and that's my answer.
You're so right. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope it is an amazing day for you now that you've gotten your rigatoni. Spread the word, you know? Yeah, go get some pasta. Pre-show pasta.
Perhaps.
Always good. All right, I believe you have one song left for us this afternoon.
Yeah. This is the focus track from the EP, so it feels fitting to finish on this. This song is called Masterpiece. Am I allowed to get lost in your eyes? No, this was never in the contract. I won't deny. I know that you keep me take my time and laugh at you getting impatient. You try to read my mind. We are the first to ever fall in love. There's no one who understands this trust. Mindful of art inspired by us. And I can't help but think that this was never born from love. And I can't resist painting a memory. Your brush strokes left all over me. I would hate to ruin a masterpiece, but time will see. You can't rush creating history. You can't rush creating history. You can, you can. You can't rush creating history.
You've been listening to Psycho Gab for this week's Active Live session made with support from New Zealand On Air. If you want to hear more of these delectable tunes, you can catch them at Meow tonight. Apena media kakite.
Active Live. Friday, 3:30. Every week a new band. In studio. Brought to you by NZ On Air.